What's up with the squad? Back with another video. As y'all can see in the title, I'm telling y'all, this is the video. I got this video sent numerous times in my emails, numerous times, literally. So I'm like, all right, it's time to go. I've been waiting on the video to see a little update, so it's time. Y'all see, you know what I'm saying, a little wet marks. Y'all know we got a newborn, spit up a few times, but it's okay. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Other videos y'all may check out. Make sure y'all email me at LifeWithRecklezz@yahoo.com or DM me on Instagram, LifeWithRecklezz. All right, now let's go ahead and jump in the video.
Investigate until the truth is found. I'm skeptical about conspiracy theories, but wow, this has me thinking. We all know what happened. What could have triggered so many people to come together and ask what truly happened in Lahaina, Maui on August 8th, 2023?
What is happening in Maui is no mistake.
The Maui fires have joined the list of the deadliest wildfires in U.S. history.
It's one thing to watch the videos. It's another to actually see it with your own two eyes. I feel like I'm looking at a war zone.
You can feel the heat off the traffic.
It sounded like a giant blowtorch, and you're running from that. And we had to run in the ocean because we were starting on fire.
Yet, what occurred in early August wasn't just about vacations cut short.
We landed here yesterday, and all we have is the clothes on our back, so we don't know what is going to happen next.
But a way of life reduced to ashes.
And everything I basically, have in the world at this point might be gone.
And a community forever changed.
How, as a parent, are you ever prepared to tell your children that their friend didn't make it?
But is recovery for the people of Maui still possible?
Maui is coming in strong. Maui is coming together.
Or are people who had something to gain from the fires?
It caused fires not only on Maui, but it caused fires in the most precious parts of real estate.
Standing in the way.
I just wanted to come on here and say, do not believe what is being told on the news.
And we're just asking, why is our town burnt down? Why are our families' houses gone? And if you can explain that to us in a logical, reasonable way, we'll accept it. But right now, there is no explanation.
Politicians have not been tar and feathered in a long time, and it shows.
It's almost like we're in a prison camp or something.
You need his permission.
I need someone's permission to film in public? Do I need yours too?
How many children are missing? You know.
I knew the answer to that.
I'm telling you, the more you look at this, the more dodgy it gets.
After all, why are some residents fearing for their lives as they share footage with the world?
I'm beginning to worry for my own safety. I'm beginning to worry for my family's safety. I have uploaded this content to a very close friend, so if anything does happen to me, the story should get out that way.
Let's unpack what happened in Maui.
The media isn't doing us any good at all. We're not okay.
And listen closely to what Maui residents have made public.
Nobody called us. Our phones didn't work from 5 in the morning. 10 o'clock when I went to work, the fire was still there. There was no water. Tell me if that's coincidence.
Welcome to Lahaina, Maui, a town once defined by its sprawling beaches and mountains, now the picture of paradise lost.
Are you guys believing that? Oh my gosh.
It's like nothing I've ever seen before, and I've seen many wildfires.
Sometimes I just go in the corner and think about what the old Lahaina town used to look like, and I just start crying.
Homes and buildings decimated to ash.
There's a house. Everything is gone.
What once was a colorful stretch of gorgeous 19th century architecture is no more. A smoky landscape, the ruins of beautiful, historic Lahaina.
This used to be Dad's room over here, and then my room in here. It seems a lot smaller without walls. Interesting.
Vehicles melted to the mechanical bone.
This fire was absolutely devastating. It burned everything. There's aluminum and glass melted everywhere in the street.
And scorched palm trees all bare as reminders of what Lahaina once was and how it was so suddenly transformed. On the afternoon of August 8th, a brush fire, emboldened by forceful gusts of wind courtesy of Hurricane Dora.
I feel like a lot of this is gonna come out as soon as stuff start to change there. When you see stuff start to change and upgrades and this and that, oh yeah, Definitely
Never seen any wind that strong in my life, ever.
Engulfed Lahaina in smoke.
There is a
If you
huge
can get
amount
on
of
there.
black smoke that is just blowing out to sea here.
And then flames.
Just go, people, go!
As residents watched, stunned. After all, there had been no emergency text alert, no siren, no evacuation order, no anything to inform the community harm had been heading their way. And according to the New York Times, this meant while some residents took their cues to pack, others cluelessly went about their beach days as tourists continued to arrive from the airport to the already burning island. In fact, it wasn't until 4:17 p.m. that an emergency alert went out, informing residents they had to evacuate the island. And by then, road closures and no ability to contact emergency services made escaping from the town nearly impossible.
Because it started like in the morning, though,
Cell
right?
service is down, phone service is down.
Instead, many residents and tourists covered in soot abandoned the inferno of gridlocked traffic and collapsing buildings for the closest point of refuge.
What I'm told is over 100 people, according to the Coast Guard, jumped in the water right around here.
With some jumping into a pool, many at the seawall, and others doing their best to keep their heads above the ocean surface as the waves crashed against them, individuals, families, and children held their shirts to their mouths to avoid inhaling the smoke that surrounded them.
My coworkers, friends, family have lost everything.
Fighting the water, getting pulled out, flames were hitting you still. Things were falling from the palm tree on fire on you.
By night, the town had been ravaged.
Here's the fire damage map of Lahaina. Just literally in the heart of the fire. Burned all the way around me, about 1.5 miles to 2 miles in every direction. Up, down.
A mile,
right.
a mile,
So
2
heavy,
miles
bro.
every direction.
And tallying what was lost also meant tallying who was lost, as not everyone escaped the fire alive.
We lost our house, which seems pretty minor compared to what everyone else lost.
I can't imagine what some people have gone through during their last minutes.
The car smashed in on itself. I heard stories that people would just see families huddled together, and it said it looks like it's Pompeii. They're just calcified, frozen in time.
But while rescues were conducted by torched land,
So right now we're getting trained on how to do the search and rescue down here in Lahaina with the equipment. What we're doing is removing the metal on the top so the dogs can get in and search for human remains. They can't sniff anything because there's so much metal and stuff on top. They got to be able to get underneath it. So we're pulling stuff off of it to get down to the bottom. Could be people trapped under there. We don't know.
and Smoky Sea.
As we look at it here, you can see that people had no place to go other than the water or the one road out of town. I mean, they were trapped.
Sorry.
As the search approaches its end, the number of lives lost to the fire remains unknown. Currently, the toll stands at 115, but the number of those missing provided by the FBI suggests this number is much higher.
As of today, it's between 1,000 and 1,100.
And unfortunately, due to the weather on the day of the fire, a number of those unaccounted for are children.
Schools were in that day. It was so windy that a lot of these were for children at home.
The aftermath forced residents into heartbreaking situations.
All of us are, they're putting us in 30-day hotel stays in order to find everybody houses, but in a place where it's hard enough to find housing and hard enough to find jobs as it is, now that there is more people looking for jobs and there is less houses available on the island, everybody's...
But in their grief, the residents of Maui couldn't help feeling let down by America's response to the tragedy. According to Brian Stern, the founder of the search and rescue donor-funded organization Project Dynamo, that arrived in Maui within 20 hours of the fire starting, in the Lahaina people's time of crisis, the United States government had all but deserted the tourist hotspot.
We didn't see any military aircraft flying. Our whole time there, we didn't really see a Black Hawk or a Chinook bringing things or people.
And while the Department of Defense reported that the National Guard had dropped over 1,000 gallons of water over Maui the day after the fire and sent the National Guard along with 2 Chinook helicopters to the island by August 10th.
And you're National Guard or National Guard. Okay, thank you.
For many, this was too little too late.
Do you think that more people would have lived if response was quicker?
Exactly. Drop the
Just
water.
the logic tells me that's the case.
And residents wanted to know, where was the person who was meant to lead them during this time?
Where is our leadership? Where is Joe Biden? Where is the President of the United States?
That is crazy. I wasn't expecting. I'm so sorry. But I was not expecting his voice to be that deep.
When you have one of the most devastating fires to occur in the last 100 years.
There is this grand sense of community here. I have never seen so many people come together and give up their own beds for people that just lost their house but that's the problem. It's that nobody else is doing anything. Nobody is helping.
It wasn't until August 21st, 13 days after the fire, that President Biden landed in Maui to survey the damage. And the welcome he received wasn't exactly warm.
A bunch of them are protesting. They have their makeshift signs, cardboard signs, a lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late.
Wow, he's finally here.
It said 13 days, bro.
Wow, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for nothing. You.
And the crazy thing, I gotta go past this. The crazy thing is, I ain't even gonna cap. I'm gonna say this: everybody on Trump talk about something. I guarantee Trump would have been there way before them 13 days. They talking about 13. They say 13 days, right? They say 13 days.
Cardboard signs, a lot of them saying, as we've been talking about, that he's too late.
Wow, he's fine.
Exactly warm.
A bunch of them are
I think they said
the damage.
I think they said 13 days, y'all. I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Messing this video up.
Commenting that the ground was hot in Maui, being accused of nodding off during memorial service, and refusing to comment on the lives lost to the fire.
Any comments on the rising death toll in Maui?
Didn't seem to win the president many fans.
Y'all want to know why he ain't had nothing to say? He ain't had nothing to say because he wasn't told to say anything. That's why.
In fact, residents were furious with the lack of support.
So today, I haven't had any money come in. I haven't had anybody call me back. I didn't have anything. I have no idea. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my animals. The $700 compared to all the millions he's giving to Ukraine. Why? We need it. Where's our government?
Exactly.
Why did you run if you're not gonna step up to the plate when we need you the most?
But it wasn't just America's leader that struck Maui residents as insensitive, but tourists. See, while evacuations had turned Maui's attractions into ghost towns, it wasn't long before visitors repopulated the island's waters, to the disbelief of a community still in mourning.
Same waters that our people just 3 days ago are the same waters the very next day these visitors, tourists were swimming in. There's the Hawaii we're living in and the Hawaii they're living in, they're visiting in.
There are also tourists already asking for discounts on hotel rooms. They're saying they want $20 hotel rooms because of the situation here with all of the fires.
They won't. So, y'all could have stayed at home. Y'all want discounts on a trip. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Hawaii is not part of the United States. It's occupied land. They literally, at gunpoint, force the Queen to sign a treaty. So you, if you're an American, don't get the right to go.
And according to Maui residents, these tourists weren't just apathetic to the tragedy, they were vulturous.
There are people, rich people, already trying to buy the land that's still in ashes, that has families who passed away, still in the rubble.
The Lahaina community was being warned that real estate agents had been approaching those who lost their homes and offering to buy their properties.
Please do not leave. Please don't leave Hawaii. Stay on Maui. Don't sell your land. Don't sign any insurance stuff that you're not sure about, but just please stay. Like, what makes Lahaina Lahaina is us. Local people
but
make...
that's the thing, though. I'm going to spit some real to y'all right quick. It's all in the story. It's all in the... Can't say too much. But just think about it. If somebody's offering you money on top of money and you already down bad, some people, I know sadly, some people are going to take that. You know, they're going to take that because they got a family. They're going to take that because they don't want to see, like, it's the way that, you know, it's sad enough to say it, but it's just the way things are out to be when you have a government that wants to top over you, you know? So.
Lahaina.
I had another friend reach out who's in Maui and was telling me that the victims are being told by their insurance companies that their properties that burned were actually violating city code and will not be rebuilt. So an act of war, an act of nature, whatever it may be that took place in this area, is now violating city code, and their insurance company is deciding not to cover it.
I am
So it's basically you out on your own if you gonna do it. And it's the way, I'm telling y'all, it's the way that they're going to make it see. So go ahead and get you up out of there so we can take over.
frustrated.
That's crazy.
With
Or so they can take
investors
over. I ain't gonna say we.
and realtors calling the families who lost their home, offering to buy their land. How dare you do that to our community right now? If you are a Maui realtor contributing to that, karma's gonna come and get you.
This tactic of companies and businesses capitalizing on the disorienting nature of tragedy is called disaster capitalism, and it's been used in countless other devastations, including in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria in 2017. But according to certain members of the internet, what happened in Maui was different from these other tragedies in one key way. It had allegedly been planned. As for how a fire of this magnitude can be orchestrated, there was one conspiracy pervading the internet. But first, what was the official cause of the fire? Well, while Lahaina roughly translates to cruel sun, it wasn't extreme heat that caused the wildfires that have ravaged the town, but wind and some flimsy power lines. On August 7th at 10:47 p.m., senior research coordinator at the Maui Conservation Center, Jennifer Pribble, caught a flash on her surveillance footage coming from the forest.
It's windy, and then there's a flash, and I think that's when a tree's falling on a power line. The power goes out.
And unfortunately, the ground of Maui offered the perfect environment for flames to grow.
Much of the grass in Maui is a non-native Guinea grass that grows really fast. Even if it rains, the hot weather dries it right up. That's pure fuel for fire.
But this was only the first incident of a downed line.
Let's see how long this pole's gonna hang in.
After sunrise on August 8th, another fire started near Lahaina Luna Road after a power line collapsed and began a brush fire that quickly spread to neighboring lawns. And while firefighters claimed the fire was 100% contained that morning, it flared up again in the afternoon. In response, the Lahaina bypass was closed at 3:30 p.m., meaning now there was only one in and out road to leave the town. Yet, according to social media, this explanation didn't suffice. Some claimed a fire started by a power line didn't account for the way some houses had been left unscathed, while others were reduced to rubble.
Somehow we made it.
Or why some grass survived next to the fire.
Grass over that's still standing. It's not even been burned. So even down below, directly below this, you can see some wood fence posts that were burned, but you can see all that grass is still good. So how do you get this car this hot?
Or how the fire seemed to skip over a 4-lane highway. Or why, in heat that melted glass and aluminum, certain items that should have been destroyed weren't. Many were disturbed by the footage of the aftermath, as many shared their confusion. Why are the guardrails okay and intact? Firefighter for over 20 years, I've seen fires hot enough to melt metal, but there would not have been anything else standing around at those temps. What's interesting is it did all that damage, but asphalt melts a little under 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and all the paint is still intact. However, those who'd experienced wildfires in other locations claimed the damage the fire had done wasn't unusual. I'm in Canada, and we have a terrible wildfire in our Northwest Territories, and people's cars are melting as they are driving out. Google it. You must not have seen any of the wildfires we have here in California. Embers fly, especially at 60 miles per hour. Fire jumped 10-lane highway in mainland 2 years ago.
Honestly, I ain't even gonna cap. Thinking about everything, Like, just, you know, you're gonna have this. You're gonna have this, and that's just the way it is. You know, it's social media, and I knew this. I knew this was gonna be something. I just haven't seen it.
Extreme weather also provides.
Looking at my phone, my girl texted me. I usually wouldn't do this, but I'm just making sure everything is good. Yeah, I'm gonna check on her.
Provided an answer for some other peculiarities of the fire.
Well, I'm wondering if everyone in the cars had to get out and run, why aren't any of the doors open, right?
And the comment section was quick to respond. Maybe the 80 miles per hour wins? Still, there were some things that just seemed odd. Like the red roof house that went viral for its pristine post-fire condition. The homeowner acknowledged their house is made of wood, but theorized their home may have survived due to their metal roof, lack of foliage on the property, and being bordered by the ocean. Yet, from videos circulating of Maui, viewers couldn't deny there was a trend. The color blue.
I went through hours of footage.
That in the color blue, this whole situation of what's going on is a sad, you know, sickening situation. Honestly, everything that's going on with this whole situation, with, you know, you have missing, you know, little ones and other missing people, and it's October 7th, and a lot of stuff is still not figured out. A lot of stuff is still not told, and that's what bothers me. You know, it bothers me a lot. The whole thing with the, you know, the buses and it's so much hidden stuff that's around that is actually sickening, and all we can do is try to help as much as we can. Like I said, I can try to help as much as I can, and pray. You know, that's if they even let us, you know, not pray, because we gonna pray regardless. Ain't nobody stopping me from praying. But if they can let us help, you know. But it's definitely a sad situation. It is an emergency. I do have to stop this video. I usually wouldn't do this, but Chris, she thinks she has a fever. If y'all don't know, we have a newborn, and she just went through a pregnancy. Our daughter was born on September 13th, so it hasn't even been that long. So I think she's a little sick, so I'm gonna go tend to her, the baby, and then we have a 2-year-old as well. But definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in and watching this reaction. Other videos y'all want me to check out, make sure y'all stay tuned. If y'all want me to finish this video out tomorrow, I definitely will. We stopped at 17:53, so if y'all want me to, please comment down below and say, Recklezz, please finish video tomorrow, and we can definitely do that. I just gotta go check up on my girl because that is my job, you know. But definitely appreciate everybody. Much love to everybody. Prayers up to Maui. Please make sure y'all say a small prayer, you feel me, even if it's small. Please, it'll help out. But, you know, hit that like button, that subscribe button. Catch y'all next one.